Good morning, everyone, and welcome to your Week 2 Monday Morning Breakfast Bite. So this week we're going to be talking about intellectual property and jurisdiction. Jurisdiction is very important, especially in the cyber world, because in the cyber world, obviously, as we all know, e-commerce, we have a brick and mortar business somewhere, but we're doing business online. So when we're doing business online, we're not going into a Barnes and Noble store. We're not going into a Safeway. We're not going into a McDonald's. We're not going into a Sears. We're not going into these places. Gap. We could just go on and on. What we're doing is we're ordering online. We're doing business online. Everything we're doing is being conducted online, and a lot of stores have taken away their brick and mortar business, and they are going directly to online sales, and some are just online sales. There are a lot of companies where you can't go anywhere and purchase their product. You can only purchase it online. And so when we're looking at this week's material, we're going to be focusing on jurisdiction. We're going to start talking about intellectual property, and we're going to expand from there into other areas with regard to contracting and other aspects of doing business. But when we talk about jurisdiction, we're primarily going to be talking about subject matter jurisdiction and personal jurisdiction. So subject matter jurisdiction and personal jurisdiction, which we also call in personam jurisdiction. Personal jurisdiction is jurisdiction over the person. Now remember, from a legal standpoint, a company, an entity, a business is considered a separate person under the law. So when you're thinking about that in personam jurisdiction, we're talking about, from a commercial standpoint, jurisdiction over the business that's involved in any of the litigation. Subject matter jurisdiction, as we touched on last week, is that substantive law, okay? The reason why the person is suing. So subject matter jurisdiction pertains to a civil versus a criminal action, a divorce versus a automobile negligence lawsuit. So when you're looking at that, you're looking at it from what is the subject matter of the lawsuit. Does the court have the ability to hear that? A criminal court cannot hear an automobile negligence case. A criminal court judge cannot hear a family law case. So when you think about that, that's what we're talking about when we talk about subject matter jurisdiction. Now, with regard to intellectual property, we'll start looking at intellectual property. Intellectual property is, we all know, patents, copyrights, trademarks, trade secrets, things of that nature. That's all intellectual property. So when you are studying the material this week, keep that in mind. Different types of intellectual property will have a different type of protection. Now, we'll all have the ability under intellectual property law to file for injunctive relief, to sue for violations, but the type of lawsuit is going to be very important, because that again goes to that subject matter jurisdiction and that substantive law. What is the cause of action? What's the reason and the basis of the lawsuit? That's that subject matter jurisdiction, that's that substantive law. So just kind of keep that in mind as you go through the materials this week. Now also, you have for this week, you have your discussion posting, you have your team building exercise. I'm going to be assigning teams this week, and what you're going to want to do is connect with your team via your team's discussion. You're going to locate your team via my courses and look for an email on doing that and how to go about doing that. And you're going to complete the team building exercise. Now, each team member is going to complete the team building exercise, but remember, you've got to get that as a team member to the captain, so the captain can put all of those together for one submission to the Dropbox for your team. And at the end, what's going to happen is you and your team, the captain and the team, are going to decide as a whole how the deliverables are going to break down, who's going to be responsible for what deliverable. So keep that in mind with regard to the team project. Take a look at the team materials folder so you're familiar with how the team project is going to work, and focus on your strengths. Maybe somebody's better at writing, maybe somebody's better at research, breaking down the case, whatever it might be, analysis. Look at it from those standpoints and how you can each contribute to the overall project to have the most successful project possible. And then you've got quiz 1 due this week, so don't forget about that either. If you have questions, don't hesitate to contact me. You know, I usually take Saturdays off, and then I'm back online Sundays, but I'm online Sundays early in the day, so it's important if you have questions to catch me early in the day on Sunday. You guys have an awesome week 2, If you do have questions, don't hesitate to contact